Hello, hi everyone. So today we'll be solving 5 questions of verbal ability. It will include para completion, some para jumbles, an odd one out, and a para summary. Right. So the complete set. Right. So let's begin. In the first question itself, we have been given a para completion based question where we have to put in this sentence in its correct blank. So let's look at the paragraph first and then the sentence. The concept of climate change refers to long-term alterations in temperature and weather patterns across the globe. These changes are primarily caused by human activities, particularly the burning of fossil fuels, the deforestation. The consequences of climate change are far reaching and affect various aspects of our planet. Rising global temperatures have led to the melting of polar ice caps, resulting in rising sea levels and the loss of habitat for many species. Extreme weather events such as hurricanes, droughts, and heat waves have become more frequent and intense. Additionally, climate change poses significant risk to agriculture, food security, and water resources. To mitigate the effects of climate change, it is crucial for nations to adopt sustainable practices, reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Fair. So let's look at the sentence. What is it saying? This includes ecological systems, human health, and economics. So something which includes, we have to talk about a system which includes ecological systems, human health, and economics, right? So if you look at the first blank, so the previous sentence is telling us that consequences of climate change are far-reaching and affect various aspects of our planet. So this includes ecological systems, human health, and economics. This makes sense, right? So the aspect that we are talking about is included over here, right? So probably we should be putting the sentence here, but just for the sake of it, let's understand and see whether we can continue with the flow of the ideas and whether any of the blanks can also not can be covered or not with this particular sentence. So the next line is telling us about the loss of habitat for many species, and extreme weather events such as hurricanes and droughts have become more frequent. So it's talking about the effects of climate change. So there's a continuation. So two obviously cannot be there. Additionally, climate change poses significant risk to agriculture, food security, and water resources. Example has been given to mitigate the effects. Okay, now the solution has been given. There's a problem. Now the solution has been given. So yes, we cannot put it in 3 as well. And it is crucial. So clearly this is a solution to climate change, and we cannot say that it will include human health or economy. So clearly fourth also cannot be taken. Therefore option 1 or blank 1 is the sentence where we have to put in the blank or the sentence that has been given to us. Right, pretty clear. Alright. So let's look at the next one. We have a sentence and we have to put in the sequence. Okay, it's a parajumble based question. Alright, let's look at the 4 sentences. From the image thus formed, synagogue cystis can thus work out which direction life-sustaining light is coming from and travel towards it. So something, basically synagogue cystis is basically able to work out the distance where the light is coming and it is traveling towards it. Fair. So Cynogocystis, whose cells are spherical and 3 microns across, is among these phototactic species. So what is Cynogocystis? It's a phototactic species. Cyanobacteria have been known for over a century to be phototactic, meaning they can orient in direction of and travel towards light sources. So what is again cyanobacteria? It is a kind of phototactic that is able to orient towards the direction and travel towards light sources. Like a glass bead, the entire Cynogocystis cell acts as a lens, focusing light on the point on the bacterial cell walls farthest from the light source. Okay. So we have a whole parajumble or paragraph about the specificity of what Cynogocystis is and how it is a phototactic thing, and we also been given about the cyanobacteria. Right. So before looking at the whole sequence, let's look at what sentences should go together. Right. So the sentence number 1 is talking about from the image thus formed. So there is an image thus formed, and that image is kind of being put over here, right? Like a glass bead, the cell acts as a lens, focusing light on the point on bacterial cell wall farthest from the light, and therefore there will be an image, right? So 4 and 1 do make a pair, right? And let's see if there is a connection between 3 and 2. So Cyanogocystis is among these phototactic species, right? So among these species, so cyanobacteria is known for to be phototactic, meaning they can orient the way of. So we have been introduced about what is cyanobacteria, and it's a phototactic thing, and Cyanogocystis is one of those things, right? So yes, we can say that the 3 has to precede 2, right? But let us also see whether we can put in 4 in between or not, 4 or 1 in between them. So if we take 3, meaning the direction towards lights, like a glass within the cyanogos. Okay, so 3 is telling about cyanobacteria, but the 4th one is telling about the Cyanogocystis cell. So clearly 3 and 4 do not match together. So it has to be 3 and 2 and 4 and 1. And comparing 3 and 4. So clearly 3 is a more generic sentence, right, compared to 4, because the 4 is specific, talking about and give an example of how the Cyanogocystis cell acts as a lens. So clearly 3 has to precede 4, and therefore our para jumble sequence should be 3, 2, 4 and 1. Pretty simple, right? Alright, let's move to the next one. Again, we have been given a para jumble based questions. Alright, so let's read the sentences. You will be more creative, determined and focused than ever before. Okay, kind of like a conclusion that you will become this fair. Great men and women are those who make clear, unequivocal commitments. So they are talking about what great persons are like. They make clear, unequivocal, that means without any confusion, clarity, they have clear commitments, right? When you make a firm commitment to achieve a particular goal, you put aside all excuses. It is very much like stepping on the accelerator of your subconscious mind. Okay, so it is basically giving us a condition that when you make a firm commitment to a particular goal, you put aside all the excuses. It's like an accelerator to your subconscious mind. Then they refuse to budge from them no matter what happens. So there is a simple thing they are talking about there, and clearly we are able to form that 2 and 4 have to make a pair, especially because this 2 is talking about men and women who make unequivocal commitments and they don't budge from them. They don't budge from them. So clearly the case is that we can make a pair out of 2 and 4. And let's see if we can find out there's a relationship with 1 and 3. So when you make a firm commitment, you put aside all excuses. It is very much like a stepping stone, and if that happens, you will become more creative, determined, focused than ever before. Fair enough. 3 and 1 work as well. And in comparison to 3 and 2, let's see which one of them is generic. Great men and women are those who make clear, unequivocal commitments. Quite generic. And this is also okay. When you make firm commitment, you achieve a particular goal. So it's also very generic, right? So now both of them are generic. So the answer could have been 3, 1, 2, 4 or 2, 4, 3, 1. Right? Any of them could be there. So how would you find it? Which one of these is the answer? So the answer, the trick lies in understanding the middle pair. Which one of them makes more sense? So let's look at 1 and 2. You will become more creative, determined and focused than ever before, and great men and women are those who make clear, unequivocal commitments. Yes? So if you become determined and focused, that will lead you to become one of those great men and women who make clear commitments. Kind of makes sense. Let's look at 4 and 3. Then they refuse to budge from them no matter what happens. And when you make a firm commitment, so here lies the problem. They already talking about they refuse to budge from them what the commitments, but we do not have the term commitment. We just have they have the we those who make clear unequivocal commitments. So yes, so 2 and 4 do make a pair, right? And then when you make a firm commitment, then why are we talking about a condition? We already talked about commitment. Then why are we again talking about a firm commitment? Makes no particular sense, right? So we can reject 4 and 3, and that is why our answer has to be 3, 1, 2 and 4. There we have it, right? So we got stuck in the middle between the two pairs, but because of the middle pairs, we are able to find out which one is the correct sequence. I hope you got it. Let's look at the next one. Okay, this seems to be an odd one out question. Just let's confirm it. It does not fit the contextually with the passage formed in the other 4 sentences. Fair. Alright, so what have we been given? Typists, ticket agents, bank tellers and many production line jobs have been dispensed with just as weavers were. So people with these particular jobs have been dispensed with, right? They have been let go, just like weavers were in the past maybe, right? Second, in the Industrial Revolution, artisan weavers were swept aside by the mechanical loom. Fair enough. So they are talking about the weavers were swept aside in the Industrial Revolution. They were swept aside. They were removed. Okay. Third one. Today, the pool of secretaries has shrunk, but there are ever more computer programmers and web designers. So some professionals have shrunk, but others have grown. Okay. Fourth, innovation, the elixir of progress, has always cost people their jobs. Fair. Innovation has made people lose their jobs. Okay. Over the past 30 years, the digital revolution has displaced many of the mid-skill jobs that underpinned 20th century middle-class life. So this is again talking about how digital revolution has displaced or removed jobs from the 20th century middle-class life. So clearly, the majority of the portion is all about how technology is kind of changing and displacing job, right? So we can make sure that we are able to, we can see that 2 and 1 do make a pair, because it was talking about the artisan weavers being swept aside, and similar example has been given, like the weavers where these kind of jobs are also dispensed with. So yes, 2 and 1 do make a pair. So the thing odd out of that. So we have 3, 4, 5, right? And innovation has always cost people their jobs, and digital revolution has also displaced many people. So yes, 4 and 5 also go together, because they are talking about how innovation or digital revolution has cost people their jobs. Only the third one is quite odd, because it is talking about how one profession has shrunk but the others have grown. So this is a bit out of context. It does not flow with the passage, and therefore option 3 is our odd sentence out. Right, I hope you got it. Let's look at the next question. We have been given a summary, and we have been given a paragraph. You have to find the best summary out of the 4 alternatives one. Fair. So let us understand the key ideas of this passage, and then we'll move on to the options. In the past few years, evidence has increased that cancer stem cells play a fundamental role in cancer. Okay. So the evidence is saying cancer stem cells have a major role in cancer. Typically comprising about 1% or less than total tumor mass, these cancer stem cells appear to have unlimited proliferation potential and the capacity to drive cancer growth. In addition, cancer stem cells have been implicated in metastasis. Okay, so they have been implicated in how the cancer is being formed. Right, they are involved in that obviously. So cancer stem cells have already been found in leukemias at the lung, colon, prostate, breast, skin, ovarian and neural cancers. They may be present in all cancers Their discovery may be the most important discovery in cancer biology in the past half century. So it's quite important that they have been discovered. Okay. Cancer cell stems are likely to afford entirely new cancer therapies in the modestly near future. Okay. Given cancer stem cells, it becomes obvious that merely reducing the mass of tumor without eliminating the cancer stem cells will almost surely lead to a recurrence of the disease. So to remove the disease, we have to make sure that we eliminate the cancer stem cells. Thus, increasing number of investigators are now focusing efforts on to find the means to selectively kill cancer stem cells, stop cancer stem cells from proliferating, induce cancer stem cells to differentiate or change cell type to non-malignant cell types, and ways to stop cancer stem cells from leading to metastasis. Right. So the whole passage is all about how the cancer stem cells, even if they are small in number, they have a unlimited proliferation potential. They can spread limitlessly, right? And it is the cause for cancer growth and metastasis. That means the beginning of cancer, and it is found in almost all of the cancers that has been given over here, right? And therefore, the research that we are doing, or the scientists are doing, is basically focuses on basically either to kill them or to turn them or change them into malignant cell types. All right. Let's look at the options. Okay, there was some kind of an editing issue, so we have corrected it. Let's look at option 1. Cancer stem cells proliferate unlimitedly and are responsible for growth of tumors and possibly for metastasis. Right, so do they proliferate unlimitedly? Yes, it has been given over here. They are responsible for growth of tumors and possible metastasis. That has been given over here and here as well. So ongoing research involves finding ways to kill cancer stem cells to keep them from spreading. Yes, the research, let's just see. Yes, to kill cancer cells is there. To stop cancer stems from proliferating also there. To keep them from becoming malignant. Yes, to basically change them into a non-malignant cell type, there is there. And to keep them from leading to metastasis, again mentioned. Everything is mentioned, so no problem with this option. So we shall keep this for now. Let's look at the next one as all of the 3 next questions as well. 2. Cancer cells, stem cells have unlimited proliferation potential, fair, and an increasing amount of cancer research will be focused on cancer stem cells. They are present in all cancers. Very broad, very vague, right? It's not covering the entirety of the passage as option number 1 did, right? So clearly we can reject it. Third one, cancer stem cells are receiving worldwide attention. Are they receiving worldwide attention? That's a stretch. And scientists are looking for ways to stop cancer stem cells from proliferating, fair, and finding out how to shrink a tumor without eliminating stem cells. No, right? If you reduce tumor without eliminating the cancer stem cells, this will lead to recurrence of disease, right? So they're not trying to find it out. It's way incorrect. It's totally going haywire with this. And also focusing on ways to stop cancer stem cells from being messages paramount. Only the last part is of some semblance, it's of some correctness. Everything else is bakwas. It's wrong. Clearly, so we can reject it. 4th, cancer stem cells are likely to yield novel cancer therapies. Novel cancer therapies, okay. Entirely new cancer therapies being mentioned, okay. They have the capacity to drive cancer growth and are found in leukemias, lung, colon, prostate, breast, skin, ovarian, neural cancer. Yes, so only the first part is actually true. Next part is also true, but this is giving us examples. And as we know, whenever we look at para summaries, examples are the last thing that we should be including. That means we should not include examples at all in our para summaries. So clearly, this is breaking the rule. So we cannot follow it. We cannot continue with the option 4, and therefore we have to go with option 1. It is giving us every other topic. Everything that is being said here is being reflected in the passage, right? So it might not be the shortest summary, but it is the correct one out of the 4. Other 3 are absolutely wrong. right? So there we have it. We have solved all the 5. I hope you understood the logical flow, how we try to fit the uh, sentences or the things in a contextual way. So keep practicing, and also manage your time well and time yourself for that, right? So that's how you're going to be able to nail these sentences or questions, because in general it is said that we have to keep the whole thing, whole VA section around only 10 to 12 minutes, right? So keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.